I'm Dale Lawrence. Welcome to the Travel Show.
Fly different, feel extraordinary. Bangkok Airways, Asia's boutique airline.
Thanks for joining us. Later in the show, we'll be making a return visit to Madame Tussauds in Bangkok to witness the unveiling of the latest celebrity figure. We'll be talking to the General Manager, Paul Williams, and also the Indian Ambassador to Thailand. We'll also be bringing you the latest news from the world of travel and tourism, right across the ASEAN region. But first, we take a look at a boutique hotel in Bangkok that's combining affordability with location and luxury. Stay tuned as we go behind the scenes at the Hansar Hotel.
Amazing Thailand, just as amazing as you remember.
Well, I'm joined by Kunjurasak Loktorit, the manager of the Hansar Hotel in Bangkok. Kunjurasak, thank you very much for joining me on the Travel Show. You're the manager of a boutique property surrounded by five-star hotels, just off the famous, very well-known Rajadamnern Road here in Bangkok. And yet your rooms are selling very well. You've created quite a niche market. So what's the secret of your success?
What we are offering for the client is we just offering very attractive price. Our promotion rate is 5,500 baht, subject to tax and service charge, and that for the suite room. When we say suite, it's really suite room, 59 square meters. That also inclusive of breakfast, internet, daily mini bar, and additional the complimentary drink at the Wu Bar. So I think that kind of values would be very attractive to the guests.
Well, it certainly is an attractive rate, and you're quite right. I actually did a little exercise on your website this morning, and I found that rate. I mean, it equates to about $170, I think, in round figures. This was for a midweek night in September. But you can't sustain that rate forever, can you? I mean, there's going to come a time when you've got to increase your rates to get a return on your investment.
What we do here, we have a very great team of the staff. They are very friendly. They are really attend to small detail of the case. That's why we become #1 hotel in Bangkok based on the TripAdvisor reviews. I think the challenge is, like you said, how can we maintain? I think many cases, based on the feedback of the case, they talk about, they come to stay with us and then they tell us straightforward that they feel the different. They have a different experience when compared to other hotels where they used to stay before. Many cases tell us that we are different from our hotel. They look like the king when they are staying here, the king and the queen. So based on this feedback, I mean, we believe that guests will come back more and more. And when we say we offer free internet, we really offer free internet. We don't add the price up. We say free breakfast, it means really free breakfast. We say free meeting room, it really free meeting room.
You mentioned the fact that all your rooms here, and you only have 94, so you qualify for that boutique label.
Correct.
And you describe all your rooms as suites, varying in size, of course. And I think that rate of $160, $170 would be for the smallest of your suites.
Correct.
And obviously guests would pay substantially more for the bigger rooms.
Correct.
And you also mentioned TripAdvisor, and you've established a real following on TripAdvisor. I mean, this is a website where guests can post positive or indeed negative reviews. You've done extremely well in generating principally very, very positive reviews, haven't you? Which suggests that you're doing things right in terms of making your guests feel welcome.
Well, I think, first of all, I think we have to talk about the design of hotel. As you see, we are the boutique hotels, and our design hotel is very elegant and very different. And I don't think any hotel that could make it same like us, because we built after them. That's the advantage for our hotel as a new hotel. The other thing is I must compliment our staff. I mean, since they are very attend to the detail of the guests, very friendly, and they always do more than guests expect. I mean, if you review the TripAdvisor of our hotel, so when you read, and you will see that it all talks about the design, and it all talks about the feeling of the staff. So I think that's the key of the success.
Kunjirasak, you mentioned that you are, or indeed the hotel is a member of the Small Luxury Hotels of the World organization. This is an organization, I think, based in the United Kingdom, head office in London, but with regional offices around the world. Over 500 members, from private islands to historic country houses, mansions, and boutique properties. There's only 2 members in Bangkok, interestingly. There's another hotel down the Sukhumvit Road, and the Hansar. So how did you become a member of this organization, and how does it benefit you in terms of bringing guests here?
Well, the small luxury hotels of the world, they have their own member, I mean, over around the world. So I think they have more than 1 million members over around the world. So in order to become the member, the small luxury hotels, they have the criteria to select the member, whether your building, your design is qualified or not. I mean, if your hotel is not qualified, I mean, in terms of the construction, the design, it's not qualified, then they will not certify you.
So what do you mean when you say they've got 1 million members?
I think this is all the guests, they register to be a member of the small luxury hotels of the world. So,
you're talking about consumers registering.
Exactly.
I see. Okay, because there's just over 500, I think, member hotels.
Exactly. Yeah. This is, I mean, the guests, the
Yes.
client. Yeah.
Right.
So they register. So the way to get the business, because all the members, they will go to the small luxury hotel link, and then they were looking for the hotel to stay. So Hansa is also part of the small luxury hotel as well. And also we are one of 2 hotels in Bangkok. So we are very new. And I think the reason why the members select us because of good review on TripAdvisor. So that could be a good PR for our hotel already.
But from a business point of view, is being part of this organization, the Small Luxury Hotels of the World, do you use it as a marketing tool, for example, to generate awareness of the property?
Yeah, exactly. The small luxury hotels of the world, I mean, we have the office in Singapore. They also help to promote and then sales Hansa Bangkok as well. So we also have the team of the marketing of small luxury hotels help to promote the hotel as well.
So you have to pay a fee for that service.
That's correct.
Okay. So then you have to make a judgment on whether you're getting a worthwhile return for that investment.
Correct.
Yeah. For the moment, Kunjirasak, thank you very much indeed. We'll be back with more with Kunjirasak Nokturit from the Hansa Hotel after the break. But first, here's a roundup of the latest news. Doubts are emerging in the private sector about the Thailand government's tourism policy. That's according to a report by the online travel industry news service, TTR. Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra has put forward what she described as a miracle Thailand plan to boost tourist arrivals to 30 million and earnings to some 2 trillion baht by the year 2015. The TTR news service quotes the acting president of the Association of Thai Travel Agents as saying it's too early to make a comment on what is a very unclear project that ultimately might not gain full financial support. Travel industry leaders fear it could undermine confidence in the promotional campaigns operated by the Tourism Authority of Thailand. Meanwhile, the Tourism Council of Thailand's Policy and Planning Director, Konkrit Hiranyakit, told TTR that there were no clear indications about the objectives or the execution of this Miracle Thailand initiative, and he called for clarity from the tourism minister. Thai Airways is set to launch its new low-cost subsidiary next July. Branded Thai Smile, the name of the new no-frills carrier was selected from some 2,000 suggestions submitted by the airline's employees. Reservations on the new airline will be available in early 2012 when new aircraft have been delivered by the manufacturer Airbus. Thai Smile will initially operate only on domestic routes between Bangkok and cities such as Ubon Ratchathani, Udon Thani and Chiang Rai, but it is expected to add international destinations in India, China and the ASEAN region by 2013.
Amazing Thailand always amazes you. The three small islands of Got Nang Yuan are connected by a bank of pure white sand and surrounded by crystal clear waters. The spectacular coral reef and abundant marine life here makes this paradise destination ideal for snorkeling and scuba diving. Now it's time to pack your bags and explore this gem in the sea.
Welcome back. Talking to Kunjirasak Lokturit from the Hansar Hotel in Bangkok. Kunjirasak, who's coming to stay here? I get the feeling it's quite a young person's property. What's your typical profile of guests and where are they coming from?
The guests now, they are really mixed, but mostly they would be, the target market would be design, fashions, and also the I think young businessmen as well, and including the business. If you see, we have many celebrities from China and Korea to stay with us. So I think most of the cases that they're looking for something design, fashion. I think I would say the guests staying here is between 35 to 50 years old. So looking for something fashion, different.
You say celebrities from China and Korea. Celebrities in what area? Stage, screen, pop music?
Pop music, I think. The first one, Han Keung, that's I think from Super Junior, the famous boy band in China as well. And,
right.
And recently we have...
Their songs have escaped me so far, Kunjirasak, but I'm sure they're very good.
Yeah, very good.
Give me some other examples. Because it's just got that trendy feel to it, and I sense it would probably going to be popular with that type of clientele.
The other one is the P019, also very famous boy band of Korea, and the group of young boys band team, and the recent one is the Jessica Sung.
Okay. Yeah. Now, if word gets out that there's a Korean boy band staying here, I would imagine that this property, this hotel, is surrounded by hundreds, if not thousands, of Thai teenage girls trying to get a glimpse of their favorite singers, superstars. Does that happen?
I think maybe 5,000 of them surrounding my hotel. So they're very big fan of them. So I mean, they just stay and then stand whole night just to wait and see.
And I mean, do you let any of them in, or do you have to keep them corralled outside?
Well, we find the proper standing area for them.
Okay, so you're quite used to managing the sort of the crowd control now.
Exactly.
Let me come back, if I may, Jirisak, to the issue of competition, because you are surrounded in this particular part of the city by 4- and 5-star hotels, very popular with the corporate traveller. You've got a lot of serviced apartments in this area as well, and yet, you know, you're sustaining very encouraging levels of room occupancy. But how long can you continue to maintain your current very attractive room rates? Because the time will come when you're going to be under pressure to lift those rates, aren't you? And then, you know, will you still be as competitive as you are now, I wonder?
Well, our concept for Hansa Hotel is, as I mentioned, that we want to offer the value less to the customer. From what we try to attract the customer is we offer the suite rate, compare the price to the executive floor room rate of other big chain hotel, which is average rent around 7,000 or 8,000 baht. So we still want to keep this concept as well. In order to say that, if the guest support paying 7,000 baht for the room size, let's say, in average Bangkok is around 35 square meters to 43 square meters, so they will just get the room. But here, with the same price or lower than 10%, they will get twice size of the room, and they will get the value at like a minibar, breakfast, internet, and free meeting room, and also the complimentary during happy hour. And apart from that, they will receive the privacy service, of course, because since we have only 94 hotels and
94 rooms.
Yeah,
Yes.
94 rooms, sorry. And you mean based on the tracking record, every guest stay here, they will receive a very personalized service because all the staff will look after them very well.
Well, I would imagine that the staff guest ratio is very, very high.
Yeah.
Just come back, this idea you get a free mini bar. Now, I can't imagine for 1 minute you're stocking it full of vintage champagne. What are the guests? Is it just soft drinks in the mini bar that you're providing on a complimentary basis?
No, we also have some alcohol there, some beer, and also
Yes.
some snack, some chocolate, some sparkling water, and also some fruit juice, and of course some other soft drink as well. When we say it's minibar, it really minibar.
Right,
Yeah.
but this is provided on. So you pay your room rate. Whatever's in the mini bar, you can eat and drink.
Exactly, and refill on daily basis.
Really? I mean, this and that together with the fact that you offer breakfast, whatever rate your guest is paying, is that right?
Correct.
And the free internet access as well.
Everywhere.
That's in the room as well as in the public areas.
In all hotel.
So coming back to the issue of room rates, do you see a time when you're just going to have to maybe add 5 or 10% on to the rates, if only to keep pace with inflation?
Well, I think again, we have to see the guest feedback first. I mean, if that feedback, and then if they already mentioned that, oh, we really good 5-star hotel and it's really value money to spend a little bit more. I think we really need to see the feedback from the guest, because in order to decide to rate up the rate or lower the rate, I think we have to see how the guest feedback to the hotel.
Well, I think if you asked a guest, are you happy if we put the rate up? 99% are going to say, well, clearly no, we're not happy. We're very happy if the rate stays the same. So I don't think you can base your pricing policy entirely upon customer feedback. At the end of the day, it's probably your finance department that's going to be pushing you to say, look, it's time to raise your rates a little bit. You know?
Exactly, yeah. And again, we have to see also the competitor hotels where their room rate is. But still, we still want to lower rate than any big hotel, 5 to 10% of the normal executive floor rate, not the suite rate.
Yes.
But guests always remember, if stay at Hansa, paying for normal rate, but we will receive the suite room here. That's how we want to maintain. So.
No, I understand your positioning on that. Kunjirasak, thank you very much for talking to the Travel Show. It's been a great pleasure meeting you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Thank you.
Phuket Island is regarded as the pearl of the Andaman Sea, and it's been very popular among tourists for decades. Besides boasting some of the kingdom's beaches, the city of Phuket also has an interesting maritime and mining history with Chino-Portuguese architecture evident throughout. Within the affluent Old City area, East meets West harmoniously in terms of art and commerce. Walking around this area is just as delightful and interesting as walking along the famous sandy beaches of Phuket.
Amazing Thailand, just as amazing as you remember.
At Madame Tussauds in Bangkok, it was time for the unveiling of the latest celebrity figure, Bollywood superstar Amitabh Bachchan, as marketing director Jackie Tisapramakun counted down to 0.
3, 2, 1.
Guest of honour at Madame Tussauds was the Indian ambassador to Thailand, Pinak Ranjan Chakravarti. Mr. Ambassador, you've just completed the official duties of unveiling this marvellous waxwork of a very famous Bollywood celebrity. Have you had the pleasure of meeting this gentleman in person?
Unfortunately not, but only on the screen. Because when we went to college, I think he was then a rising star, and I think we all saw his movies and grew up on his movies, many of them.
It's been a wonderful export story for India, hasn't it? The whole Bollywood scene. It's travelled very well, and it's gaining popularity in many different parts of the world now.
Well, as in diplomacy, we have hard power and soft power. This is part of our soft power, or what we also call cultural diplomacy. And I think on this account, India has done well, and our movie industry is prolific, it is popular, and it is shown all over the world. And with the Indian diaspora in many countries, so the producers have an eye on the foreign market rather than the domestic market these days.
Well, that's probably a measure of its success now, isn't it? I mean, he's an interesting character, on stage, on screen, and off screen as well. Spent a little bit of time in politics.
Absolutely, yeah. I think he's dabbled in almost everything. I think even he used to do a very famous version of, I think, what's it called? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Absolutely, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, yes.
In Hindi we call it Kaun Banega Karodpati. And I believe it was so popular, it was stopped in between. It was taken over by some other person. And now he's coming back with it, I'm told. So he's there everywhere, and he's quite an icon.
Well, I found one interesting quote that he'd made after his short spell in Parliament in India. He said he described politics as a cesspool. So rather than stay and try and clean it up, he went back to his career as a movie star.
Perhaps he got burnt by something, and that's why I think he turned his back on it.
Mr. Ambassador, if I could just turn your attention to another success story, if you like, and that's the one about India's outbound tourism. We're seeing more and more tourists leave the shores of India now to discover short, medium and long-haul destinations, particularly this part of the world. Are you expecting that trend to continue, and what message would you send to your compatriots back home about what they could expect to find in Thailand, for example?
Well, I think they don't need a message from me. They're coming in such large numbers now, and we probably hit 1 million this year. And Thailand is a very popular destination for Indian families, and we welcome them here, and we ask them to be careful sometimes of certain things that you would tell anybody visiting any foreign country. But they like it here. They find it closer to home. Thailand is our maritime neighbor. It's just a 2-hour flight from Calcutta. So it has all the ingredients that an Indian family wishing to enjoy a foreign holiday has.
And some of our general managers working here in Thailand are telling us that Thailand is becoming increasingly popular as a destination for Indian weddings.
Absolutely, yes. I've attended a few of them, and it is popular because it provides the facilities at, I would say, a very competitive price. If you throw in the airfares, the stay, the food, the wedding planning and all the expenses, it's a very, very popular destination. And I mean, somebody sitting in Delhi, if he or she plans a wedding in Mumbai, it'll probably cost less in Thailand than in Mumbai. So I think that is a very major incentive.
And very popular with the guests, I would imagine. Get a nice trip to Thailand and a wonderful wedding ceremony thrown in for good measure.
Absolutely. I think that is why it is becoming popular. And people who have the money, who can spend that kind of money, are coming here. And increasingly, of course, the middle-class tourism is growing. As India grows at 8-9% a year, it's a very, very large growing economy. And as India grows more prosperous, I think people will travel. And I think that explains the number of Indians who are traveling abroad.
We left the final word to the General Manager at Madame Tussauds, Paul Williams.
You know, Madame Tussauds Bangkok launches new figures every quarter. So in any given year, you will have 3, 4, 5 new figures. And those figures are according to the feedback of what our customers want to see. Now, we have a close working relationship with TAT, the Tourism Authority of Thailand. And India is a growing international tourist market for Bangkok. They will touch probably the 1 million visitors this year, and they know that by 2015, 2016, it will be probably double that. Therefore, our Indian customers would like to see maybe some of the Indian film figures. So Amitabh is one of the first, and in January we will be launching 5 more. I can't tell you who they are, but they are well-known Indian film figures and pop stars, even a Miss World.
Probably not cricketers, Paul. They've just been whitewashed in the series back in England.
Yes, but that may be a bit of a contentious issue, and yes, England did very well.
Amazing Thailand always amazes you.
Well, that's it for this week's show. My thanks to the Hansard Hotel and also to Paul Williams and all his staff here at the Madame Tussauds in Bangkok. So until the same time next week, from everyone on the travel show, including Captain Jack Sparrow, it's goodbye.